Hi, I'm Chris Hoffman, and you're watching Cleaning with Clenzoil. Today, we're going to go over how to field strip, clean, and reassemble a Ruger SR9. Anytime you're cleaning a gun, you always want to double check to make sure there's no round in the chamber. With a Ruger SR9, the first step to breaking it down is to depress this ejector. It's a little lever inside the action there. You just press it down and it enables the slide to slide right off. Next step is to push this pin. You push the pin and it pushes this plate off the back side. Gives you the ability to just pull that pin out. Once you've got the pin out, you just slide the slide off. Pull the spring. Pull the barrel. And you've got yourself a field stripped SR9. Now that we've field stripped our SR9, we're going to go ahead and clean it. What we're going to use to clean it today is our Clenzoil 2-ounce pump sprayer, Clenzoil patch kit, and our universal cleaning kit. I've pulled the 9mm brush out of there to use. First thing we're going to do is spray the inside of the barrel with your 2-ounce pump sprayer. It's always good to spray the barrel first because that's where the most of your contaminants are. Anything that's real harsh, any kind of copper fouling, that's where all that's concentrated. So that's important to attack that first and let the product do its job and work in there. After that, you can spray down the slide, spray down your spring, spray the rest of your firearm down. Once you've got a nice even coating of Clenzoil on all surfaces of your gun, you're going to go ahead and start using a nylon brush. You can use a copper brush on anything that's extremely stubborn, but for the most part, a nylon brush should get the job done. So I'm going to hit the slide first. You just kind of brush away. You'll see any kind of carbon buildup should just start coming right off. Make sure you use the brush to get in these grooves right here as well. Just be really thorough. Make sure too to get this side where your firing pin hole is, you get a lot of buildup right there. Once you feel like you've done a thorough job with the brush, take some kind of rag. This is a microfiber towel, and you'll just start wiping away all the surfaces that you can get to. And you'll start to see all that stuff that's been built up on there coming right off. Now remember, Clenzoil is safe on both the inside and the outside of the gun, and it's also a rust preventative. So you're going to want to leave a nice thin coating on the surface of your slide as well to protect the metal from any kind of rust you might get. So you can spray a little bit with the pump sprayer on, or just use a little bit of these patch kits and wipe it down. Make sure you get a nice even coating on there, and then you'll just wipe away the excess. And you'll feel that there's a nice even rust preventative layer on the surface of that. You'll go and do the same thing. Just scrub anything that you see has got some buildup on it, especially in this part where your slide locks in. And again, once you feel like you've done a thorough job with that brush, use that towel and go back and just wipe away the excess. If you've got some tighter spots that you can see that might have a little bit of built up debris in there, you can use a Q-tip or anything like that to try and get to those harder to reach places. Now Clenzoil is 100% safe on all factory finishes, so you don't have to worry about getting it all over the handle here or any of the polymers and synthetics that are associated with your gun. So now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and move over to the barrel. Now, the Clenzoil's had a couple minutes to sit in there and do some work. So first we're just going to hit it with a regular copper brush. Pass it a couple times. Break loose any of that built up debris and contaminants in there. Now you can use a patch puller, but what I like to do is kind of just wrap one of these patches around the brush that I'm using. So once I've done that, I'll pass a dry, clean patch through there just to kind of get that first pass of that patch and collect some of that debris that's been broken loose. After that, I like to run a couple of Clenzoil soaked patches through. These will pick up a lot of the contaminants that didn't get knocked free the first time with just the brush and that dry patch. As you can see, it's still coming out a little bit dirty, so we'll go ahead and pass one more patch through. That one came out relatively clean, so we're going to say that the barrel's good to go. Now it's okay to leave a nice layer of Clenzoil inside the barrel. It's not going to affect the trajectory, but what it is going to do is leave a very thin layer behind that's going to keep some of those contaminants from sticking to the walls of the barrel, and also leave a rust preventative layer behind as well. And do a little additional scrubbing right here on the opening of the barrel. A lot of carbon gets built up right there, as that's where all the powders ends up when those bullets. Alright, now that we've done that, we're just going to wipe down this spring, remove some of the excess Clenzoil that's on there. And now that we've got all of our parts cleaned, we're going to go ahead and reassemble our firearm. To reassemble your Ruger SR9, you're first going to take the slide, put the barrel back in, slide the spring back in, so make sure that this end is going towards the muzzle of the barrel. It just takes a little bit of pressure to get that spring to click in there to that slot on the end of the barrel. From there, remember too, so we'll go ahead and do this after, but don't forget that this ejector has been put down. So we'll slide the slide back on, lock it back. We're going to go ahead and we're going to reinsert the pin here to lock it in place. And this ejector will either come up when you put a round or a magazine through, but you can do it like that to make sure that it's up and ready to go. Once you've done that, your firearm's been cleaned, reassembled, and you're ready to shoot.